Right. Wildlife ecology books. I think there are some resources, right? I saw an email NPTEL via the NPTEL, the people who are organizing it. They have mentioned that there is a link in the course with a section with all the books in it. Is it not there on the Swayam website? Let me just check. As such, there are like a lot of books, a lot of resources everywhere. But yeah, I think there are some books that are already mentioned. But we can check that later and let you know if there's anything to be added or if it's not there. All right, I think we can start. Um, so I hope everyone has gone through week 4, and I guess let's just jump head along into the questions. So also I had a lot of queries last time asking whether the exam is going to be MCQs or it's going to be descriptive or a mix of both. But so the course conductor professor there has mentioned that it will only be MCQs. So yeah, so big relief to those who don't like descriptive answers. But it's good to know. It's good to answer questions descriptively as well, so that you have a good understanding of what you're doing as well. All right. So let's start head away. Okay. Question number 1. Which of the following organisms is an omnivore? Is it A squirrel, B, a cow, a leopard, or a rhinoceros? What do you feel? I'm going to expect answers in the chat box, or please unmute yourselves and talk. Uh, no? Uh-oh. Hang on. I see. Is it visible to everyone else? All right. All right. All right. So, yeah, tell me, what is the answer for question 1? Which of the following organisms is an omnivore? Does someone want to describe what is an omnivore first? Can feed on? What was your first thing? Did you say fish? Flesh. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Flesh as well as plants. Correct. So, what do you think? Which animal here do you think is an omnivore? D. D. Okay. A. Okay. Only 2 people. We're at least 17. A. A. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. A. 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 D. Okay. Yeah, who eats both I mean, you plants and animals, flesh. Yeah, so who eats both? So we have A and D. Nobody for B and C. All right. So tell me, why do you think everyone knows rhinoceros, right? The animal. Why do you think it is an omnivore? What animals do you think a rhino eats? Or tell me what do you think squirrels eat? Since that was the Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, they feed on insects as well as like caterpillars and small, yes, arthropods as well. So yes, you have squirrels that are okay. So yeah, fruits and nuts. That is what usually squirrels are portrayed to be eating, but they also do eat insects and they are omnivorous in nature. Yeah. All right. So question number two. So the correct answer is A, squirrel. So question number and rhinoceroses are primarily only herbivores. Yeah, they are only herbivores. They only eat plant matter. Okay. So which of the following organisms breaks down decaying organic matter into small molecules? Is it a crab? Oh wow, I have EFGH here. I didn't realize that. Okay. A crab, a vulture, an earthworm, or a rabbit? G C C G G. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. G G G. All right. Why is it not F? Can someone tell me? Okay. Everyone seems to be saying yes. It's the earthworm. But why is it not a vulture? Do you know what vultures eat? Scavenger. Yes, that's correct. Okay. And what do scavengers do? Yes, they eat only dead uh, bodies, dead, decaying or fiends or decaying organic matter. Yeah, sure. So, what is the difference between a scavenger and an earthworm? Scavenger vulture. Right. Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Debian. Thanks. So yes, earthworm is the correct answer. And yes, vultures cannot break the organic matter into very small molecules. They only break down the food particles into smaller components. All right. Oops. Next question. Okay, so now with respect to ecological pyramids, so we have learned different kinds of pyramids, right? So one of the type of pyramids is pyramid of numbers, and the other type of pyramid is a pyramid of biomass. And we have two ecosystems, terrestrial and marine. So you have to choose which of the following option is correct. Marine biomass pyramid is inverted, and terrestrial number pyramid is inverted. Or is it terrestrial and marine biomass pyramid is upright? Or you have terrestrial biomass pyramid is upright and marine biomass pyramid is inverted, or terrestrial number pyramid is upright and terrestrial biomass pyramid is inverted. You can take a bit of a while. It has two components. So you have biomass pyramids, number of pyramids, pyramid of numbers, and then you also have two types of ecosystems, terrestrial and marine. So you can take a minute to again read the answer. And okay, we have a few answers in C, C. Okay. Any other? Does anyone think that Amol and Sai Kalyan are incorrect? Is there another answer? Could there be another answer? A. Okay. C. C. Okay. Could someone explain why C is the correct answer? Like, yeah, you can unmute and chat. Anyone who has not spoken till now, I would be happy if more people are getting involved. Sure, C. Okay. Why do you think it's C? All the people who have mentioned C, why do you think it's C? Yes, I will explain, but I would like somebody who has chosen C to also tell me why they have chosen C. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me what are the producers in a terrestrial ecosystem? You can just give me like a an example. Okay, yes, correct, correct, correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Right, correct. And what about in marine? What's happening in marine? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. Thanks, Amal, for the explanation. Could is that clear, Devyan? All right. So, could someone tell me the marine pyramid of numbers? How does that look like? Is it also inverted? All right. Yeah. Thanks, Diwali. Yeah. So, a marine number pyramid is upright, the same as a terrestrial number pyramid, because the number of phytoplankton is way more than the number of large carnivores. Okay. Yes, Amul. Yes, it can also be a spindle shape if you knock down a few layers, because sometimes you have more zooplankton than your phytoplankton. Yeah, but yeah, in some cases you do find phytoplankton that are more than zooplankton. So it is can be also um, it can also be just a same upright pyramid of numbers. All right. So, what kind of ecological pyramid is always upright? Is it a number pyramid? Is it an energy pyramid? Is it a biomass pyramid? Or is it both number and energy pyramid? All right, yeah, that was relatively easy. Tarak Brata, you have mentioned A, Devon, okay, B, yeah, sure. Okay, so yes, it is an energy pyramid. It's always upright. And why is it always upright? Would anyone like to comment on why it is always upright? Yes, of course. Yes, correct. You're correct. It's unidirectional. And what happens at the bottom of the pyramid? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How much of energy is lost? How much is transferred? Yeah, correct. So Devin, it's a 10% transfer, not loss. 90%, as Devesh has mentioned, is actually lost. So it's a huge amount of energy loss that happens as you move from one profit to another. All right. Next question. So here you have a figure. What does this figure depict? Oops, you already have the answer on it. But yeah, go ahead and tell me. Yeah, it is definitely a food web. Can someone tell me what a food web is? Can you define a food web? Okay, yeah. So you have interconnected food chains that form a food web. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so if you can see out here, there are multiple organisms that eat your herbivores and primary producers, as well as multiple organisms that eat the primary consumers as well out here. So there are so many arrows flying crisscross all over. So that makes it a very intricate connection. Yeah. And a graphical representation of what eats what in an ecological community. Yes, sure, that is correct. I'm not sure if you have copied that from the internet, but thanks. All right, next question. So, what is the type of food chain where dead producers are broken down by microorganisms? What kind of a food chain is this? Is it a predatory food chain? Is it a parasitic food chain, a detritus food chain, or is it a consumer food chain? Okay, C, E, K, C or D. Okay, two options, no, just one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think everyone's gotten this correct. So it is a detritus food chain. That is correct. Okay, I'll go to the next question. So here you have a food chain that is grass eaten by the grasshopper, grasshopper eaten by a lizard, lizard eaten by a snake, and the snake is eaten by a mongoose. So now at the final stage, which is this level, the mongoose has about zero point 0.4 kilojoules of available energy. So now what will be, can you back calculate and tell me what will be the available energy for the autotrophs? So first tell me what are the autotrophs in this entire food chain? Correct. Yeah. Grass. Okay, I have a couple of answers. B. Okay. Any? Okay. Okay. I think everyone has understood. So yeah, you'd go 4 levels down and right. Okay. So yes, correct. B is the correct answer. Um, we move on to the next question. Okay, so here you have a food chain that yeah, here you have a food chain where it shows a trophic cascade actually. And what is actually a trophic cascade? It can be defined as an ecological phenomena triggered by the addition of top predators, removal of top predators, the addition and removal of top predators, the addition and removal of top predators along with a few primary consumers. So here you have the first level, which is trees, second level that shows some moose, and third level that shows some wolves. So what is, could someone tell me what is a trophic cascade? Can someone explain this figure to me? Okay, you can put in your answers. We have a D and a C. D. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. All right. Yes, sure. Right. So what was your answer, Devesh? Correct. Yeah. So, which of the following is the correct answer? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think Devesh has explained that well. So it can be the removal or addition of the top predator that can have a cascading effect on your levels below. And the example given in the lectures is of wolves that were removed from the Yellowstone National Park. And it's a cool video. And so there are a lot of intricacies to it. Uh, on the overall whole, it does give a good example of it, how just removing a top predator can have such wide downstream effects at various levels. All right. Mm. So, what is the rate of biomass production called? Is it called productivity? Is it called decomposition? Is it called respiration? Or is it called photosynthesis? A, okay, A. All right. Yeah, I think everyone's gotten that one right. Is productivity. Okay, so can someone tell me what does compensation point mean in the plant cycle? And also, how many compensation points are present in a day? In 24 hours, like from, let's say, 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. Yeah, 24 hours. Does anyone know what is a compensation point? Correct. It includes respiration and photosynthesis. In day 2, night 1, photosynthesis is equal to respiration. B 2. Okay. Can someone explain this? Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, I can't hear you really clearly, Rano. But from what I did hear, you mentioned that respiration is equal to photosynthesis. So yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I think there's a bit of disturbance, but yes, if everyone's gotten the point, yeah. All right, and yes, there are two that happen in the day, and they happen at particular points in the day when the respiration rate is equal to the photosynthesis rate. So it happens one early on in the day, and it has happens one later on in the day. Yes, correct. Morning and evening. All right. Please explain. Okay, so let me. Actually, I should have put yes, Pradnya. Pradnya, would you like to explain? Um, I think let me just look for the figure. Lecture. What was it? What was the lecture 9? Oops. Yeah, I don't have it here right now, but I don't have any means to draw this as well. But is it okay if we cover this maybe at the end if there is time, or else I'll just put in a slide in the next class. Dipali? Yeah, cool. So I think it's just easier to explain it with a graph as Ryan was explaining. But I don't have a figure right now, so I'll just get it in the next class. Put in a slide in the beginning. Alright, so there are basically 2 points. So, alright, next question. So there's a lake in Mexico, and it is characterized by a strong seasonality of climate with a pronounced wet and dry seasons, and has been classified as a dash type of a lake. And this was driven by this particular phenomenon was driven by improperly treated sewage discharges from 4 municipal wastewater treatment plants and by excessive agricultural activities, including the overuse of fertilizers that reach the lake through surface runoff during the rainy season. And what happens is that this nutrient rich runoff has caused algal blooms, which have led to anoxic or hypoxic conditions, resulting in a large scale fish death and that have occurred during or immediately after the raining season. So, what kind of a lake is this? Any idea? What kind of a lake would you classify this as? C, okay, hypereutrophic. Endoheric. Where is okay? I am not sure what exactly endoheric means, but endoheric. Endoheric basin is a drainage basin that normally retains water and allows no outflow to other external bodies of water, such as rivers or oceans, but drainage converges instead into lakes or swamps, permanent or seasonal, that equilibrate through evaporation. So there is no basically drainage outlet. That is what endoheric means. So the lake does not overflow and go into a river that ultimately goes and probably joins the sea. C, okay. Any other options? Could you tell me what is the difference? What does hypereutrophic actually mean? Or in fact, everything. What does eutrophic, oligotrophic, hypereutrophic, and mesotrophic lake mean? Mhm. Right. Yeah, so the difference between eutrophic and hypertrophic is that uh, hypereutrophic lakes usually result in the death of organisms in it, which is also mentioned out here. So, anoxic or hypoxic conditions, which means that there is no oxygen present, and that's why they have large scale fish deaths. So, yes, C is the correct answer, and this lake is a hypereutrophic lake. All right, so you have something known as Secchi depth, and it is found by estimating the depth where. So, does someone want? Okay, I'll just read out the options. The black and white colors on the disc is the clearest. The entire disc appears black. The black color of the disc is not visible, and the black and white part of the disc is not visible. D, okay. D, D. Okay, there are about 18 people out here. Only like 5 or 6 are actually participating in this. Okay, D. So, does someone want to explain to me what is this Sechi disk and how does it actually work? Right. Yeah, sure. Yes, that is correct. So, Sechi depth is basically the point where you don't see the black and the white in the disk, right? And that measures the turbidity. So, yeah, that's the correct answer. Okay, so now which of the following equations is correct? First, can someone explain what are these short forms? Oh, it's not showing. What is visible? Sorry, is the previous one visible? Has it changed now? I don't know. Maybe some slow internet connection. Has it come? Can you see? Not visible. Um, okay. Visible? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why there seems to be a delay today. Okay. So we have several acronyms and short forms out here. Could you explain what are these acronyms? What is R? What is NPP? And what is GPP? What? Sorry, sorry. GPP? Yeah, right. And R is? All right. So, yeah. So, what is the correct answer in this? A. A. All right. Any other? Okay, everyone's chosen A, which is great. Mm, cool. Can someone explain why the A is the correct answer? Like, I don't know if it's disturbance that only I'm hearing, but I'm hearing you speak in parts, Ranul. It could also be my internet, but I don't know. No, no, no. Sorry, which one? Sorry, sorry. Yes, yes, yes. Could you explain that? I think Ranul actually also explained it, but I was just not able to catch. Yeah, yeah, right. Yes, correct. Okay. Yeah. So GDP minus respiratory products is known as the net primary productivity. So yes, that is correct. Okay. So a few MCQs on nutrient cycles. So tell me which of the following essential elements is found in the currency of your cells. So do you know what is the currency of your cell? Okay. And what is the full form of ATP? Right, right. So then, which of the following essential elements is found? Yeah. So that is pretty straightforward. Yes, correct. That's phosphorus. Okay, I'm going to move on. So dash is important. Which element is important for cell division and is an integral part of the cell wall? D. What is important in cell division and is an integral part of the cell wall in plants? Forgot to mention that. In plants, yes. D, okay, I'm getting a couple of D. Carbon. Sorry, Ranu. Maybe just, maybe do you want to just type in the, okay, cellulose, yeah, sure. Yes, that is, okay. B, okay, sulfur. Yeah, cellulose present in cell wall made up of carbon, okay. Cool, okay. Alright. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so cellulose is not important for cell division. So the answer is actually in these four. So there is one element that is important in cell division. B, okay, no, it's not B actually. It's not sulfur. No, it's not potassium. Yeah, it's actually calcium. And also calcium forms an integral part of the cell wall as well. If I'm not mistaken, there is pectin that is found in the cell walls. So yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think it is there in the lecture that calcium is an important part for cell division. In fact, I picked this from the okay. Sure, sure. I will just rectify. I will go back and I will check. I actually don't have access to the lecture notes or the lectures right now, but I can rectify this. Yeah. But yes, carbon is an integral part of the cell wall, as you had mentioned, cellulose. All right. So, what of the correct set of elements describe an accurate set of micronutrients for the plants? Is it selenium, sulfur, silicon, sodium? Is it boron, selenium, molybdenum, vanadium, phosphorus, zinc, silicon, aluminium, or iron, cobalt, chlorine, magnesium? This is a set of micronutrients. Would someone like to explain what is the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients? Okay, B. I think that is the first answer. That is in. Okay, B. B. Okay. Can someone explain what are macronutrients and micronutrients? Yeah. Yes, correct. Yeah. So a lot of you have selected B. So yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. So which is the most abundant source of nitrogen on our planet? Is it the soil? Is it the atmosphere? Is it the oceans? Or is it plants? Okay, atmosphere. Any other answers in D? Oops, did I just jump a few questions? Alright. Okay, yeah. So the previous answer was atmosphere. Alright. So you have rhizobium, and it is a form of bacteria that helps in the nitrogen cycle. And what is the purpose of rhizobium? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Could someone explain what is nitrogen fixation? Right. Correct. Yeah, that is the correct answer. So yes, rhizobium is. And could someone tell me where is rhizobium found? Right. And linking back to our previous lectures, what kind of relationship is it? Would anyone like to take a guess? Yes, that's absolutely correct. It's a symbiotic relationship. Would you like to explain what is a symbiotic relationship? Yeah, correct. Absolutely right. All right. So you have a water cycle, and the water cycle consists of which of the following steps? Does it have evaporation, condensation, precipitation, fixation, runoff, percolation, transpiration, consumption, or is it decomposition, assimilation, and evaporation? Do you see question 19? I think I'm not sure why this is very slow today. Yeah. So, which of the following steps is present in the water cycle? All right. Yeah. Okay. Does everyone agree with Tanzneem? All right. Seems so. Uh, yeah. 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 Okay. So, yeah, everyone has got the correct answer. That is A. So I actually have a couple of questions from an older lecture as well. We have a couple of minutes, and meanwhile, I can even look for what was it? The compensation point figure. But I'll just put up the next question from our biodiversity module. But I will just look for um, where. So do you see this figure from the biodiversity module? All right. So yeah, this is a figure with different kinds of warblers that are found in a particular kind of forest. Right? They are all co-occurring species of warblers. And would someone like to explain what is happening in this figure, or what do they see? That what does this represent? So I am going to look for the lecture. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that is a good uh, answer. And how is this resource partitioning happening? Would you like to explain? Devesh, you're on the right track. I'm just going to look for. Yes, niche. That is the correct word. So what is happening in this case? So why is this happening? Yeah, that is absolutely right. Yes, yes, to avoid competition. So to avoid competition, what is happening is that instead to ensure survival, they choose what is happening in this case. What is happening exactly in this case? Yeah. So they are resource partitioning across different habitats within the same tree itself, right? So they are becoming so specific that they are drawing their food and they're feeding only in a particular part of the tree. So this is clearly happening in an area where there is primarily only one kind of vegetation, and this is a very famous example of niche partitioning by MacArthur. MacArthur, who had done the study, and they are known as MacArthur's warblers. So if you would like to read this study, it's a really great point. Okay, so I found the lecture notes with the compensation point. So I don't know who had asked that question. I think it was Dipali. Just bring this up 1 second. Yeah, I'll just bring this up on this page. Uh, has the screen changed? Not really sure. Yeah. Okay, so what is happening in compensation point is that, well, it's right here in the lecture notes as well. So you have gross primary production, which is the overall production. And what is happening in the case of plants is that they primarily perform two kinds of activities. One is photosynthesis, and the other one is respiration. So, photosynthesis is the process of accumulating carbon, and assimilation, which is productivity. And you also have respiration, where there is some amount of loss of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. You can see this figure, right? Yeah. So what is happening is that from in the morning, what is happening is that there is an activity of respiration that happens. Actually, respiration happens throughout the day, but photosynthesis only happens during a portion of the day. And why is that? So as you can see, your respiration graph is flat. Yeah, Ryan, please go ahead. I think you wanted this graph. Yes, yes, correct. So if you see time on the x-axis and you have amount of carbon dioxide fixed or released on the y-axis, you see your respiration line is absolutely constant, right? It is a straight line. But then you have net absorption of carbon dioxide, which is through the process of photosynthesis happening. It happens from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is like roughly 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is basically the time when sunlight is available, and sunlight is absolutely essential for the process of photosynthesis. So you have carbon dioxide absorption during this period. But what is happening is that photosynthesis happens slowly. So there is one point where your photosynthesis, that is net absorption of carbon dioxide by the process of photosynthesis, is the same as the amount of carbon dioxide that is released during respiration. So you have a point out here where the absorption intersects the release, which is the loss, this red line, and you see that this point is known as a compensation point. So this happens early in the morning, one point of time where the sun is probably just rising and reaching its optimal peak at noon. And then as the levels of photosynthesis decline, as the day comes to an end, as like the sunlight depletes, your net release of carbon dioxide, anyway respiration is happening, but your net absorption of carbon dioxide via the process of photosynthesis also drops. So that drops to a point in the evening where again you have an equal release via respiration and an equal absorption via photosynthesis, and you reach another compensation point, right? So this compensation point happens twice in a day. Is that uh, is that clear, Dipali? All right. So are there any other questions? Yeah, I was probably incorrect about the cell division part, but I am going to also look that up. I think that was a question by Manjusha. Thanks for pointing that out. But are there any other questions anyone has? We have another 4 minutes. So for those who joined in late, an update is that your exams are going to be only in the form of MCQs, and there's going to be no descriptive questions. And about the books, I think they should be available. Yes, Ryan, did you have a question? Oh, the books. Yeah, I think somebody asked about any books on wildlife ecology, but oh, were you asking? Okay. So I thought there was a resource on the NPTEL website itself. Let me just look it up, right? Actually, I'm not logged. Uh, Sorry, I'm not. I didn't get that, Reinhold. Are you asking for the soft copy of the book? Okay, I'm not sure if NPTEL actually provides that, but it might be actually great if you could post it on the discussion forum and ask for the soft copy of the books because I'm not able to reply via the NPTEL portal itself. Yeah. And if you have any queries like regarding like exams and any technical questions, please put it on the discussion forum because the instructors and the course conductors of NPTEL are very prompt in replying. I see a question. What is my research topic and supervisor? Okay, so I am actually an ecologist and I work at ISA Tirupati. So my main topic is I work on bird song and I work on bird song in a particular species that is found in the high elevation mountains in the Western Ghats. So the Western Ghats at the higher elevations, you have a habitat known as the Shola Sky Islands. The Shola Sky Islands are found 1500 meters above sea level and extends to about 2500 meters. And this habitat is very special because it forms two kinds of habitats. It is a matrix of two kinds of types of vegetation. You have the Shola grasslands and then you have the Shola forests. So you have grassland birds as well, and you have forest birds as well, which are found at these high elevations. So what I am doing is studying songs and song complexity in particular kind of bird that is found endemic, which is only found in the Shola Island. Exam is online or offline? I am not sure, Bilal. Maybe just please post this on the discussion forum as well. I think the NPTEL people would be equipped to answer that. I think they were offline at some point of time, but the current scenario, I am not sure. Yes, I think Jyotsna, you had a question. Okay, if not, any other queries? Okay, then. Thanks for joining in. I shall see you next week for the next discussion. All right, I shall stop the recording. Thanks, everyone. Bye.